Well, he's a hip-hop pioneer, one of the most influential MCs to ever rock the mic, and a man who has always known how to get the job done.
With classics like Ain't No Half Steppin' and Smooth Operator, and a career that spans more than 2 decades, Big Daddy Kane has earned the right to be called a legend. And we welcome him along with the lead singer for The Last Supper, Showtime. Thank you guys.
Welcome.
Glad to be here.
Big Daddy Kane, it's been 10 years since you've been on the scene, and now you're back with an album called Back to the Future. What took you so long to come back, and how are you feeling? How have you been?
I'm great. Everything is beautiful.
Okay.
I mean, everything is beautiful, and it's glad to be out doing my thing. I had the opportunity to work with a lot of young new musicians that have like a different, unique sound. So it just seemed so interesting, and I got involved. And we have a new project out. It came out last week called Back to the Future, and we call ourselves Last Supper, and I'm enjoying it.
Now, I love the New York Times. They gave your album a rave review, and they said, quote, "It's the first non-embarrassing, adult-oriented rap album by a late-career rapper." What's it feel like to be back in the limelight, and what's it feel like to have the New York Times give you a rave?
Well, I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, you put out new music, you want it to be well received, and I think it's a real good, feel-good album, and those who have heard it, that's the way they take it, and they take to it.
Now tell us about what makes this different, because we've heard your old music before, but now you got some new stuff coming, and with some oldies and goodies on there too, right? So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, actually, what it is, it's all new music. That's why we call it Back to the Future, because we're going back to that vintage soul sound. We're going back to that vintage 80s hip hop, but we're bringing it to the present. We're bringing it to the future. That's why we call it that. But basically, it's all live instrumentation, and it's done in that Motown stacks type of method, way of recording. And I mean, when I say all live instrumentation, I mean no samples, not even keyboards.
Really?
Real B3 Hammond organs, real upright piano, even like you hear the bell sounds, that's a real glockenspiel. Everything is all live. And Brother Showtime, he lends a hand with the lead vocals.
And you're back, Big Daddy Kane, and you're rolling deep. You mentioned Showtime. I counted, I think, 8 people in the group.
You were nine.
Yeah, okay, so you were a solo act before,
yeah.
And now you're part of a group called The Last Supper. Why did you decide that you wanted to be a part of a hip-hop soul collective as opposed to just rolling solo?
So I could be lazy and let them do all the work.
That makes sense. Well, Showtime, what's it like for you to work with a legend?
It's, first of all, humbling. You know what I'm saying? It's humbling to be able to work with a legend of the caliber of Big Daddy Kane, one of the greatest of all time. And it's fun. It's a great experience to learn from him. Working with an artist of his caliber and working with the band, it's just great. It's great.
And you guys are also going to be going on tour, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us about the tour. Where you guys are going? How many
Well,
cities?
the tour is being routed now. It's scheduled for July. But we'll be doing, I know for a fact that we'll be doing the Essence Festival on July 6th.
Nice, that's great.
Well, I know people think of you, they think New York, they think, the roots, that's where you come from, that's where the music comes from.
Well, we played in New York last night.
I heard it, how did it go?
Yeah, it was great.
But we think New York, but you've been living in North Carolina for the past few years. What made you leave the Big Apple?
I just went down there just to relax, kick back, do the laid back thing.
Do the laid back Southern thing.
So were you literally just sitting on the porch, you writing music? Is that where you get your vibe from, or what?
Nah. I mean, I vibe off of, whatever mood or, whatever's going on in my life, But I mean, not exactly the porch, more like the backyard,
Right, okay, I like that.
Well, one of the things that you mentioned earlier is live instrumentation. What made you decide to make that decision? Who inspired you to do that? Because I read somewhere that you were inspired by one group in particular.
I know that like one time I went to see Sharon Jones and the Daddy Kings.
Yes.
And, looking at their performance, I saw a lot of young college kids there. And then I went to the same spot, maybe 2-3 weeks later, to see Talib Kweli, and it was the same exact college kids. So I'm like, wow, they're into soul music, and they're also into hip hop. So we combined the two, You know, it's all the same audience, you know. And I mean, when you think about it, it's like what we did in the 80s, all we really did was sample old soul records.
Right.
So it's basically doing what I always did. Instead of sampling, we just have it played live.
Well, you know, you talk about in the 80s. I was surprised to learn that you're actually 1 year older than Jay-Z. And both of you guys have been very successful in the game. So how do you grow and mature successfully in hip-hop? What's the key?
Grow and mature successfully. I mean, I guess, you know, one is, you know, staying current with the times, because, you know, rap styles can change. You know, I don't mean trying to sound like anybody else. I mean just, you know, noticing what changes are going on, you know, being aware, you know, and then also just always supplying and satisfying your fans. You know, I mean, you lock down a loyal fan base, they're going to support you, you know, through the duration.
Now, one of the things that you've always managed to do is keep it sexy. You were known as one of hip-hop's original sex symbols, and you've been largely credited with helping put chocolate guys on the map, too. You and Wesley and Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and Wesley home now, so you know it's back on.
But did you think of yourself as a sex symbol back then?
No, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, yeah, I took advantage of it, but
What does that mean exactly?
let's leave it alone.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
But I mean, you know, but really, I was just really just trying to please, you know, the mass of the audience. I wanted to please, you know, the guys that wanted to hear real hip hop, wanted to hear real lyrics. I wanted to please the ladies that, you know, wanted to be talked to, that, you know, wanted to be shown love. I wanted to please the kids. I wanted to please the adults. You know, I really was trying to cover everybody.
Well, you took it all off for Playgirl, and then you posed again in 1992 for Madonna's Sex book. Is that something that you consider doing again? Do you regret that decision? If you had to do it all over again, would you?
Well, not right now. I'd probably do a little working out first, you know.
We need the ratings. Come on. Take it all off. No, I'm kidding. But really, how does that work? Does Madonna call you up and say, I need you to take it all off? And you're like, yep, I'm there.
Nah, actually what happened was me, Madonna, and Color Me Bad, we were visiting a children's hospital, like on a promotional run. And it was like on Upper East Side. And, you know, a lot of kids in there, you know, they didn't really know who I was, you know, like, you know, young white kids, but they didn't really know who I was. And they didn't recognize Color Me Bad Madonna. So Madonna was taking time to say, do you know who that is? That's Big Daddy Kane. You know, he's one of the greatest rappers out. Here, let me hear you say, ain't no, and I'm sitting there like, wow, Madonna know my stuff. You know, it was just beautiful. And she showed me a lot of love. And then afterwards, she asked me to be in the book.
Wow.
You know, so that's all.
Now, Showtime, I see him mentioning all these things, why it can be humbling touring with him. But are there any lessons you learned on the road being with him, you know, under his wing?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Like the work ethic, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a hard worker. So, you know, watching that, you know what I mean, encourages me to be a better, you know, worker, a better leader, you know what I'm saying, and doing all those things as we lead in this group to the next level. So watching him in his career and what he's already done, so it's like, okay, now I know we got to standard.
But understand now, you know, even though Showtime is a young cat, he's been on the road a whole lot as well. I mean, you know, he's sung background with Music Soul Child, Casey and JoJo, many others. And, you know, he's on like numerous Pharoah Monch records.
That's fantastic.
You know, yeah.
Okay, so you're doing it yourself.
Yeah,
okay, represent.
Yeah.
So we only have 1 minute left, and I have to ask you, Big Daddy, what would you say your favorite Kane song is?
Mine,
That's a hard one.
That's a
Set
good
It
question.
Off. Mine would be Set It Off.
Oh, you
from
answered
the
that
first
easy.
album.
Okay,
Yeah.
why that one?
It's just that energy song. It's the song where, like, if, let's just say I have a show and I'm tired, that's the one that motivates me.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice, nice.
I
So
love
what's
it.
next then? Because you've done so much already. You got the tour we know about. What else is up for you guys?
Out working this here project, you know,
Yeah.
Back to the
Project.
Future by Last Supper.
Last Supper, pick it up.
And where can we learn more information, get more information, tweet you, get to your website, and find out your tour dates?
At LastSupper.com.
Okay.
I mean, well, LastSupper.com, at Last Supper on Twitter, on Facebook, all that. You can find that. And then also, you know, on my site, BigDaddyKane.com.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
iTunes, Amazon. Last Supper. Back to
Okay,
the
and that's
Future.
L-A-S, right?
L-A-S, no T.
No T.
No
Okay.
T.
And
L-A-S.
Last question, because I know there aren't any new songs
Last
on your
Supper,
album.
last question.
I know.
Okay.
I know there aren't any oldies but goodies on your new album, but will you be doing some of them on tour?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to
mix
clear
it
that
in.
up.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we mix it in.
All right, we're looking forward to it.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank
And
Thank you, appreciate
you're
it.
watching Arise Entertainment 360.